Okay, so earlier today, the Graveyard Shift trailer came out, and with it, we have the release of 10 new Spirit Halloween 2021 animatronics. And basically, I'm going to go one by one and tell you my thoughts on each of these animatronics. Now, in the trailer, there were some unreleased animatronics that I'm assuming will be coming out just as regular sneak peeks up until around when flagship opens. But I will be probably doing a video on them tomorrow. But let's start off right off the bat with Wacky Mole. He's from 2013. You probably all know that. He is pretty much the same as he was back in 2013, even though there is one noticeable difference that I don't seen, and that is his shoes. They're now like the classic, well, not modern SVI clown shoes that they use for almost every clown, instead of what they were before, which I am a fan of this version. I do like those shoes more. Up next we have Buzzsaw. I was expecting him to be like 7 feet, but he's got to be 7 feet long because he is really long. He is this. I don't know if he's supposed to be a zombie or what, but on one hand, he's got a giant mallet. I just realized that's like bigger than the size of his head. And on the other hand, he has a buzzsaw. His body turns side to side. His mouth moves and the buzzsaw spins and his eyes light up as he says a phrase. I'll link the trailer in the description so you can watch all these props because I don't really feel like showing you all the videos. Next up we have Mr. Howl. He is a 7-foot werewolf that I believe his arms move up and down and his head moves up and down and his mouth moves. His eyes light up. He's $300, which might seem a little overpriced, but I'll have to see him in stores to like really decide if that's a fair price. Next we have Grim. Now Grim looks just like a normal skeleton animatronic, and his arms move up and down and his head moves and his eyes move. Now, this one is unique because he might just seem like a normal skeleton, but he actually uses 3 servo motors for his head, which gives it a really realistic movement. He has 7 different movements. His torso turns side to side, both of his arms move up and down, and then his head can turn side to side. It can turn left to right. His head can tilt side to side and up and down. So that's 3 different head movements right there. And the eyes can move around as well. So, yeah. I think one of the reasons why they made him just a normal skeleton is so that people can, like, customize him. They can dress him up however they want and have this more professional prop and not have it be something specific, but whatever they want it to be. Like, in the theme, they have him with a construction hat on. So next up, we have the Caretaker. He is this Reaper-looking animatronic with a shovel, and he has a tombstone on his back, and he's in like a hunched over position. His eyes light up yellow, his arms move up and down with the shovel, and that's about it. He's pretty interesting, and he's pretty simple. Again, I will be linking the trailer in the description so you can see it for yourself, in case you haven't, which you probably have. Next up, we have one of my personal favorites, Henry Hustle. This resembles a clown dressed up in an outfit with red and black with different card symbols with hearts and spades, which I think is pretty cool because, of course, as you can see, he has cards. And his one arm holding the card moves out to reveal like a Joker card, and then he'll say a phrase, and then his head pops up, which reveals another scarier head, and it's kind of like a jump scare, which is exactly what I thought he would be. So he's pretty cool. Next up, we have Beetlejuice. He sits on a tombstone and moves back and forth and moves his mouth. I don't know if this is probably the Beetlejuice animatronic that was supposed to be sold last year, but it could be a new one. Next up, we have Shorty from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. He kind of thrashes his head around, and I think he moves his arms up and down. I'm not sure. I forget. Yeah, he does, I think. Or maybe that's just from like his head moving and shaking. But the really cool thing about him is that you'll see he has boxing gloves there. He has interchangeable hands from just regular hands and you can do boxing gloves, kind of like Trick or Treat Sam from 2019 and last year. How he could interchange his head. This guy, you can interchange his hands. Next up, we have Ghostface from Scream. He is basically a reskin of the Hauntress. He has a knife in his hand, which I couldn't really tell from the video, but he might move his arm up and down like he's stabbing something with the knife, but again, I'm not sure. But yeah, he's basically a reskin of the Hauntress. And in my theme video, where I like made my predictions for the themes, I thought that this was the Hauntress returning, but as you can see, I was wrong. Last but not least, we have the Night Stalker. When the box of this guy got leaked and it was kind of blurry, I was like, oh, this might be a new good profile picture for me. But now that I see him, he's okay. His arms aren't even attached to his body. They're just attached to the post. So they're completely separate. His motion is kind of like the Boogeyman, which I do like his motion, but the design of his face, I feel like they made him happy. His eyes light up yellow, which is pretty cool. And I don't think really anybody is a fan of the audio, but I'm not either. So he's okay. I just like him because he's a scarecrow, and you can probably tell from my username and my profile picture that I love Scarecrow / Harvest animatronics. So that's about going to do it for today's video. Again, I'll be linking the trailer in the description so you can see all these animatronics in action for yourself. And yeah, that's about it. So goodbye.